The first record of Yanomami people is from the year 1654, when European explorers, led by Apolinar Diez de la Fuente, but it is believed that the Yanomami people migrated to the Americas through the Bering Strait around 15,000 years ago. The Yanomami people are made up of four subgroups, each of which has its own language. The language used is Ninan, Yanomam, Sanoma, Yaruami. The Yaruami, Yanomam, and Ninan language are the most spoken in Brazilian territory, while Sanoma is spoken in Venezuelan territory. Apolinar Dias left in manuscript a conversation with the chief on a indigenous village about the Yanomami, in which the leader of the village made it clear that the Yanomami live in isolation. The word Yanomami means human beings, which shows that the Yanomami indigenous people only call themselves human.
Who are usually related or joined by a military relation against other peoples or other villages. Lives in villages with a population of 50 to 400 indigenous people. In Yanomami communities, it is common for humans to be married to more than one man. This happens so that humans has more chance of getting pregnant. Where the name of building is Chabono, its shape is oval and measures around 19.1 meters, and around it has perimeter, then usually fortified or covered with palisades. It is largely communal system they live in a single roof together. The Yanomami have hallucinogens, as Yakuana and Mbane, which are usually by Yanomami shamans in their wailing with, according to the indigenous people, command the physical word, and banana is used as a drug to communicate with the Yakuta spirits. Humans cannot engage in this practice. Their work no is superior. The Yanomami were hunters. Fishermen and horticulturists, their deity is composed mainly of plankton and cassava. Humans were responsible for taking care of groups and harvesting. These two hallucinogens were mingling with the bark of trees and plants that were only planted by the village shaman. The Yanomami were one of these indigenous groups that have the lowest blood pressure due to their diet. The planting of this food is used around the villages. The planting of this food is used around the villages. It is usually the men who do the work of deforesting the planting areas and grow your food. They were also responsible for other domestic tasks such as looking after the children and preparing food. They were also responsible for other domestic tasks such as looking after the children and preparing food.
The Yanoman peoples are located for the most part in Brazil, in the states of Amazon and Roraima, where their population is approximately 26,000 indigenous people. In the Venezuela there are also Yanomamis, around 11,000. The Brazilian Yanomami territory has a size of 9.6 million hectares. In the Venezuela, the Yanomami people live in the Alto Orinoco Cacinco Biosphere Reserve, which around 8.2 million hectares. These two areas target for the last third territory indigenous in the world. In the 1940s, the Yanomamis people came in contact with the government when explorers were sent to delimit the border between Brazil and Venezuela. After the first contact, the Indian Protected Service (SPA) was sent to the village front. Government agents and the religious missionaries who went were there one. The causing of epidemic of measles and flu among the indigenous people, causing the first death from the disease.
Nowadays, about half of the Yanomami territory has been affected by illegal mining. There are more than 14 clandestine mining and drug trafficking lanes in the region. Half of the cases of malaria in Brazil in 2021 were among the Yanomami people. In the 1970 decade, the Brazilian military government began building a road that crossed the Amazon. The problem is that the government did not notify the indigenous people of the region, causing the complete death of two Yanomami villages. Apart from that, diseases were transmitted to indigenous people, such as already mentioned above. Another major problem brought by the settlers was alcohol, which even today affects many indigenous people. Still in 1970 decade, it was discovered that there was gold in the region, which caused a large number of illegal prospectors in the area. But it was from the end of the 1980 decade onwards that the numbers of patients increased even more. It addition to cases of sexual abuse of women from the tribals. The lack of food among the Yanomami has become constant in the recent months, which has caused of 500 to die of bad nutrition. In recent days, according to federal police, the financiers of illegal mining in the region were found, which will probably put an end to this practice in the region, and the Yanomami people will finally be able to return to their normal life.